Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. Liverpool have just lost to Manchester City at the Etihad. The worst case scenario has happened and Liverpool end the first game of 2019 just 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League, and not the 10 that we were all hoping for. I'd said going into this game that I don't like using terms like free hit when you're playing a team of Man City's quality, and I was on CNN earlier talking about this and how I didn't see it as a genuine one of those 6 points where you've got to go all out for the 3 points because of the good situation we were in terms of the cushion that we did have to City. That doesn't make me feel any less gutted about it because I don't like Man City very much. I love so many of their players. I love the style of football. I actually quite like Guardiola as well. There's so many weirdos who support them, which does taint it massively, but Manx, it's to be expected. So no, I don't like losing to rivals. I don't like losing to anyone associated with Manchester ever. I don't like giving them anything at all. It's just a genetic scouse to Manx thing, and I'm sure exactly the same is true on the flip reverse as well. So no, as much as I had myself mentally insulated against this, I wasn't nervous going into the game. I wasn't like biting my nails off in anticipation the same way I was with the games last season, particularly the Champions League. It doesn't mean that I'm happy about this because I thought Liverpool were underwhelming on the night, let's be perfectly honest. Let's not take anything away from Man City because let's be fair about it. Man City are a phenomenal football team and we saw that. Look how good they are and look how many times they caused us problems. They caused us problems where other teams simply haven't caused us problems. It's the first time we've conceded 2 goals in a league game this season. You go back to it was well into last season was the last time we did that. We were unbeaten this season in the league. That's come to an end because Man City are fucking good at football. Really, really, really good. And I think it's probably fair to say, I think Man City are a better team and probably a better squad than us. They probably are. And they should be, to be fair, because whilst Liverpool are no purpose, while Liverpool have not been assembled on a shoestring budget, Man City are prime built. They've been built for, 6 years to be this. The best players are players who've won 2 league titles or at least 1 league title under them. They're some of the best players in world football. For us to be able to match them is a massive credit to Jurgen Klopp and what he's doing. I said early on in this season, I didn't feel as though this season would be borne out. The ultimate success or failure in this season was not going to be borne out in the top 6 clashes. It was going to be borne out how we fared against everyone else. And that's been proven true so far. Liverpool have not got that lead at the top of the league because we've been better than Man City in head-to-heads. Because we have been better than Man City in head-to-heads for the vast majority of time over the last, decade? Forever. For the sake of argument, forever. Liverpool have always been better at Man City in head-to-head games. But particularly since they got all the money, it's not mattered. Who cares if you can beat Man City in a one-off game? And who cares if you can beat Man City a couple of times and take some points off them? Because we've been nowhere near the title, and Man City have. Season in, season out, they are right up there, either winning it or running it very bloody close. And we have been nowhere to be seen for the vast majority of them. So, that, for the first time ever, hopefully it won't matter. Hopefully it won't matter. And as ever, it's about Liverpool, how Liverpool react to this. That's where I think some of the kickoffs, I've seen 1 or 2 on Twitter, and I'll be doing Twitter reactions in a little bit. There's some mad overreactions on there, which you expect immediately after the game, of course. But I can't help but escape this, and this shouldn't be diminished by the fact that we've been saying this for a few days or weeks or whatever in the build to this. I'd have bitten your fucking hand off for a 4-point lead over Manchester City coming out of this game in November when we were looking at run of fixtures and we had the Merseyside derby to come, we had Man United, we had Napoli in the Champions League, we had Rafa Benitez coming to Rafa us on Boxing Day, we had Arsenal, and then we had Manchester City. I dreamt that we would be within touching distance, hanging on, clawing onto Manchester City's coattails, and we're not. We've got a buffer between us and them, a buffer between us and Tottenham Hotspur. It sounds easy for me to say right now after the game's done and dusted, of course, but if you're going to lose an unbeaten run, lose it to the best side in the country. If you're going to do that, do that. I don't think... First, I've seen a lot of people say, well, Liverpool are going to make it do it the hardest way possible. Maybe we will. I think it was incredibly unrealistic to expect Liverpool were going to go from 4th in the league to unbeaten champions in the space of a calendar year. And I'm not sure we as fans or this team are prepped mentally for the challenge of not just maintaining being at the top of the league, but maintaining being unbeaten at the top of the league. So, look, it sounds like I'm clutching at stuff, and maybe I am. Maybe I am. I mean, that's the beauty and the wonderful delusion of being an actual fan of your football club, is that I don't really give a shit about the narratives that are negative towards Liverpool. Inevitably, I'm Scouse, and I will always focus on the positives because it's a glass half full culture that we have here in this wonderful city of ours. So, no, disappointing from Liverpool. Dejan Lovren's going to get the blame for this, and fair play. Look, fair play. If you want to find a scapegoat, Dejan Lovren is as good as any, because once he got that booking, he was just... I think it hampered his performance. I think it got in his head. And typically, whenever Lovren feels he needs to prove a point, that's always the point at which he starts to make stupid mistakes. He made a stupid mistake in the last game against Arsenal in the build-up to their goal, where he misplaced a pass and he tried to overcompensate. He was doing that again today. He should be more switched on for Aguero's goal, but take nothing away from Aguero. He's phenomenal at football. He's the best striker of this era of the Premier League, clearly. And we rode our luck massively. Raheem Sterling is never going to score against Liverpool. I'm throwing that shout out now, because if he can't score when Dejan Lovren is conspiring, is doing everything within his power to go full Lovren and give him the ball to basically score into an open net, and he still can't stick it away, fine. You know, maybe that's just Raheem Sterling's lot in life. But Sterling was really good. They're really good, and we're really good. They're an amazing side, and they're at home. Advantage them. They played the better football on the day. No slight on Liverpool whatsoever, because as much as it's easy for me to look at it and blame Liverpool, City were good too. So, but feel free to blame Lovren. Feel free to watch it back and be annoyed by it. Feel free to question the midfield selection. People will do that. These are the easy things to pick up, point at, and shout at if you want to work out why Liverpool lost that. But ultimately, you can lose games to brilliant football clubs. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get it and keep on coming. I'm going to keep quoting it. Go and watch Rocky Balboa. I believe, look, this is the best Liverpool side I've ever seen. Losing to one of the best football teams I've ever seen in opposition to us does not change that. It does not diminish that. There is no need for these. These are not mutually exclusive events. Two football teams can be fucking brilliant at the same time, and in a one-off match, one can come out on top of the other. That's how I see it anyway. Let me know how you see it in the comments below, or by tweeting in. I'm going to be doing Twitter reactions a little bit later on the channel, so stay tuned for all that. Go and check out the website as well. We're doing a final word. We're picking it apart. We're talking more depth and detail about the shit things that Liverpool got wrong, like the midfield selection, like the performance of Dejan Lovren. Once we've had time to sit down, chill out, cool down, watch it back, and get a clear-headed analysis of it. But other than that, I will see you very, very soon on the channel. Keep your heads up, Reds. 4 points go at the top of the league. Still, I'd take that, surely.